G'day guys and welcome to the channel. My name is Tony and this is the mighty Jimny, where I'll be taking you on my West Australian outdoor and camping adventures. Today I'm heading down to the Murray River, and that's right, it's not the one over in the eastern states, the big one, but a much smaller version here in Western Australia. The Murray flows through the Lane Pool Reserve area, and that's where I'm going to be camping today. Just a quick overnighter, so once I get down there I'll do a quick rundown of the car, how I've got it all set up, and what mods I've done so far and what I plan to do in the future. One of the things I'm definitely going to be doing very soon is the lift on the car, which is very exciting coming up, which should actually help with this swaying around like crazy when I've got it loaded up. Now hopefully the wind is going to be down. I'll be able to get some good aerial footage, and yeah, so stay tuned and we'll see how we go. About to hit Dwellingup town centre, which is about an hour drive so far for me, and you can see in the time lapse how quickly it goes from being suburbia into rural parts of the state, which is very lucky for me, being right on the cusp there, being able to disappear out bush at a moment's notice, which is fantastic. So it's not actually that far of a drive, luckily for me. It's about 2 to 2.5 hours all up, which gives me more time down at the river, and also more time down at the four drive beaches and other places that I like to go, which is fantastic. But as you come through Dwellingup town centre, you'll see that there's a lot of orchards. I think there's a few wineries and stuff like that down in this area, as well as some fantastic areas for mountain biking and other outdoor activities. So the town itself is named after the one of the creeks that runs through the area, called the Dwellingup Creek. Funnily enough, my understanding is how the town got its name was they buggered up the spelling when they were actually putting in the paperwork, and it went from Dwellingup to Dwellingup. So be it. But it's a fantastic little town, little great pub and a cafe and whatnot here. So if you do happen to come down this neck of the woods, I highly recommend that you come through. It's a fantastic little place, and yeah, really good. Can't complain about it at all. Now from here it's another hour or so once I hit the actual dirt road, and then it's a little bit further on to the river itself, which is going to be fantastic. So hopefully there's not too many people down there, and I'll be able to find a nice quiet spot to be able to do these videos and have a bit of fun. Hopefully there's some redfin in the river for me. Now this is the full drive track that runs parallel to the Murray River, and on which there's quite a few of the really good campsites. There's sign postage on some of them saying no camping, so make sure you follow your signage when you go around to these kinds of areas, and you look after the campsites and the ones that you do camp at. Of course, there's always going to be people who will just camp anywhere. Now, along here, it is a four-wheel drive track. Look, it's not very serious. It's pretty light on, and for the most part, it's pretty easy going. However, get down to the actual campsites themselves does get a little bit more technical. It's not crazy. It's just a little bit more technical, and certainly need to have your wits about you. For the most part, however, it's all pretty easy going, and I mean, the Jimny bops around like crazy, so she probably looks a little bit worse than it actually is. So as you come along here, I can't stress enough, drive nice and slowly. There's no reason to rush. You do get some you know, hot-blooded young lads that like to blast along here in their big GU patrols and all that kind of stuff, but there's no real reason to push it too hard along this area. There's a lot of wildlife that does come out and suns itself along the track, snakes, lizards, and whatnot. We even saw an echidna the other day, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, really take your time, and just on a safety sense, just make sure you take your time as you go around. Now, the good thing about the Jimny, it is the kinetic yellow, which everyone calls green for some reason. And it's one of those things that makes it a bit of a safety feature, so it stands out like the proverbial. Now, it's not a bad run down here. I do like it. Alright, well, I've found the spot. It's a little bit further out of the way than I initially anticipated. It's actually, it's almost 4:30 now, and I left home somewhere around 12:30, but obviously with filming and the magic of cinema, I've had to take a little bit longer than I initially thought. But this is a fantastic place, right on the river. So you can see the river just down here. Absolutely fantastic. It's nice and shallow in this spot, and there's two really good spots that I can go down here and have a bit of an explore and a bit of a hike. So I'm going to do that as well after I set up. But yeah, no, this is not the usual spot that I go to. Most of the time, I actually head down to a place that's much shorter on the track itself, like much sooner. Which is a really nice spot. It's got a great fishing and swimming area. I will have a dip here. It doesn't look too deep, and there doesn't look like too many nasties in the water or anything like that. Luckily, down here in Western Australia, we're actually quite lucky because we don't have to contend with things like crocs and, you know, all that kind of stuff like they do up top. So we're quite lucky. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through the car and the mods that I've already done to the car and everything like that, and yeah, give it a bit of an overview of where the mighty Jimny is and see how we go. All right, so I'm going to go through the car with you, and we'll have a bit of a chat about what I've done so far. Now, this is still pretty new in regards to the car. It's only just coming up 2 years old, and the car itself hasn't had a hell of a lot done to it yet. So when it comes down to mods and everything like that, I've only done a few so far, but she's a very capable little beast even out of the box. So lots more to come. In particular, things like a winch, the 2-inch lift. Now the 2-inch lift, that goes on in a couple of weeks time. So yeah, anyway, we'll have a look. I've had the car for almost 2 years now, and the mods that I've done so far are still pretty new, and I've got a lot more to come. But the first thing I did is I put the ARB bull bar on the front. This was done by Mandra ARB, a really good mob, and they've done a lot of work to the car already. With the ARB front bar, I've also had the intensity spotlights put on. These are obviously in a pair where you've got your floodlight and your spotlight. Really good quality kit, and should outlast the actual life of the car anyway. So they're a bit expensive, but they are really good kit. Also up here you can see the rod holder. Only obviously used when I'm going out fishing and whatnot, so it's just a bit of an easy mod to throw on, and makes the car a little bit more storage friendly, because obviously space is a premium inside the Jimny itself. Now, one of the other things that I've done to the vehicle so far is put the front runner slimline roof rack on. Now, when it came down to choices, when I first got the car, I was pretty slim for pickings, pardon the pun, but the slimline is a really sturdy piece of kit. Now, one of the big things with it is that you can put all different attachments and all that kind of stuff onto it, enabling you to do easier tie downs and easier cargo management as well. So one of the other things that I was able to do was put the front runner tread holders on. Now, these just connect onto the side. The good thing about them is that they don't have to go on top of the vehicle, which means that you've actually got quite a lot more room, which is really fantastic. On the back, got the front runner ladder. Now, I am a short guy, so this is probably one of the most valuable purchases that I've made so far. It enables me to get right up here and access all the stuff that's on the roof. Now, you can see up here that I've got the tool chest made by Rhino. I just picked these ones up at Bunnings. This here is basically for all of my tools and all of my recovery gear that I might need out in the track to get myself out of dodge. I highly recommend, if you're going to be a full driver and a bit of an outdoorsman, right, go get yourself some tools, just a little pack of tools. Doesn't have to be much, and it'll get you out of dodge. So in there I've got things like hose clamps and, you know, kind of one of every major tool that I might need, just little things, right? Now the idea is that they'll get me out of dodge. I might be able to patch the car up just enough to get out of here. The other thing I've got in there as well, things like jumper cables, all my recovery gear for 4x4 stuff, as well as a tyre repair kit as well. So if I get a puncture on the track, then hopefully I'll be able to patch it up without having to use a spare. Now, it is not the lasting solution that I really want. It is big and it is flat, and it's probably about the least aerodynamic piece of kit that I could have bought. In future, what I'm going to do is try and find something that doesn't have quite a high profile and give me a little bit more of a bit of a solution there, which is good. All right, so what else I've got here is the trasheroo that I hang off the back wheel here. So as the name suggests, this is a big trash bag. This means that I can keep my campsite nice and clean, take all my rubbish with me, and the only trace that I was here is usually a couple of all-terrain tracks and my footprints. This here is probably one of the best buys I have ever made. This one here is the Rhino Rack Batwing Compact. This is a 270 awning. Now, it does look a bit chunky, but you know what? This here is quicker and easier to put up than any awning that I've owned so far. Now, I've owned another Jimny previous to this one. It was a 2007 model. It had one of the Rhino Rack Sunseeker type side awnings, and to be honest, it was a good piece of kit, but being a short guy, I found that it was actually quite difficult to faff around and put it all together and everything like that. So one of the main things that I've invested in is this awning. Now, being a full 270 awning, goes all the way around the back, and it enables me to get some really good coverage. I've also got inside a extension to it, so what that's going to be now enable me to do is really extend it right out and give me a good spot for my swag that you can see up the top there. So in a minute I'll go through what's on the inside of the car as well. So inside the beast, as you can see, she's pretty full. Okay, I've got the Oztrail 45 litre fridge in here, which takes up a fair bit of space, but you know what, it is absolutely fantastic. It's probably one of the best buys I've actually bought other than the awning. Throw my big beefy camp chair in. So while I'm not a fan of glamping, I'm a big fan of being comfortable, and I've spent a bit of time in me hammock or in me camp chair. I want it to be comfortable. Speaking of hammock, throw the little bad boy in the back, always good. I keep all my cooking gear in one of these tough containers, which is nice and easy, keeps it all together, stops it from some bashing around. Keep a bit of water with me as well. Most of the food will stay in the back here. Now, the other thing that I've done, and this is a big shout out to Geordie Jimny, a really top bloke. He has an article on his website on how to make a little bungee cargo carrier just on the inside where the old Jesus bars used to be. So as you can see up in here, all right, fantastic. Okay, bit of alley pole, one of these bungee nets, and a couple of these little bungee holders. Really easy and very effective way to carry some light gear. I usually just throw a change of clothes, towel or something like that in there, and also the little landing pad that I use when I don't use the bonnet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set the camera up on a bit of a time lapse, and I'm going to set my campsite up. Then once it's all set up, we'll go through it and we'll have a bit of a squiz.
Drive the same roads every day. We both get there our own way. Thistle and an apple tree, how different two souls can be. But we both grow from the same sorrow. If we both know we'll be together tomorrow, I can be like a tree in the wind. Same old roots, but I can bend, turning to understand and sway together. Now it's almost like a dance.
First time. So basically, the campsite's all done. I'll quickly run through you with the way that I've got it set up, and then after that, I think it might be time to get the rod out, head down to that lovely water and have a bit of a flick. So first off, as you can see, this is the way that I've got it all set up. The batwing awning just comes into its own right here. Beautiful little shelter there. So in the event that we get any bad weather, I don't reckon we will, then I've got some cover there. But it is certainly the home away from home. So as you can see in here, I'll just unzip this bad boy for you. Hard to do that one-handed. Alright, so I've got the old inflatable mattress in there, just one of the Coleman type ones. It's quite big, quite dense, and it certainly fills that swag up nicely, so it's nice and comfortable at night, and yeah, absolute beauty. So I keep that bug net down all the time, even when I'm not in there, because I can guarantee you, mate, there's some bugs around. Alright, so also we've got a little camping setup. I just use a little butane type camp set during these months. Basically, the way that it works is you just have one of these little gas bottles, and I'll get one of those out now. And with those little gas bottles, they just one of these bad boys here, and these just basically cap little comes off here like that, and this opens up here, and that fits in there nicely, and then clicks in. Oh, look at that, she's already cooking. Lovely. Alright, leave that off for now. And then I've just got a little cooking set here that I use, and everything stays down into this this hard case down there. Got me Rancho Relaxo camp chair Absolutely fantastic. So, as you can see, she should be pretty comfortable for the night. This is a really nice little track up here actually, so I might even go for a quick walk before I go down for a fish. I'll see how it goes. I don't know, is it worth it? Maybe next time. So he's getting it a bit later. So, ooh, I've hit my steps goal. Actually, yeah, I'll have a quick walk down the water here. So, I think my plan is I'll set the rod up and come down here and have a little bit of a flick, see if there's any redfin in there. It's quite shallow here, so I should be able to see them. And it's beautiful clear water, absolutely stunning clear water. So, as you can probably see, going through here. Just stunning, absolutely stunning. So, all ready to go for a bit of a flick. So all I'm using here is just one of these little soft bad boys here. So I'm going to set the camera up and yeah, go for a bit of a flick, I guess. Right, well, the fishing was pretty uneventful. Had a couple of casts, got snagged, and that was pretty much it. So, good fun, good time to probably try again in the morning, rig back up again, but well, River 1, me, nothing. But what I am going to do is I'm going to sit down and have a drink, and I'm just going to just relax for 5 minutes and put some tunes on. And then give it a 20 minutes, half an hour or so. Then it's time to cook some dinner. Tonight I'm going to cook up some steak and just throw some random things that I've got together for a bit of a feed. So probably a bit of Caesar salad that I've got there, picked up from the shop before I came down. And yeah, just have a bit of a feed. So I'm pretty happy with the campsite though. It's got that beautiful open area just over there. That's brilliant, that is. And this is a nice little spot. Nowhere near as nice as the spot that's up a little bit further up the river, or down the river. But this is pretty good. This is actually really nice. So yeah, I'll definitely come back here, especially bring a couple of lads. And it's a much easier spot to get to when it comes down to the full driving aspect. So yeah. Look, I'm going to have a bit of a chill, and yeah, we'll see how we go. So, it's time to cook some din-dins. So, basically tonight, I'm just going to cook up some steak. So, we've got a bit of steak here. I'm going to throw some onions in there. I'm going to throw a bit of carrot on the grill, and then I'm also going to pull out some salad as well. So, just something nice and simple to do. Alrighty, so now when it comes to campsite utensils, one of the things that I always advocate for is a really good sturdy knife. Now I use this for everything. All right, now as long as you clean it and you sharpen it and you make sure it's good to go, then a good knife will treat you as good as you treat it. It is the #1 piece of kit that you should always have going on at any time. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is actually I'll do my onions first. So do my onions. All right, I'm just going to basically just chop it like that. Carrots, same thing. Chop the ends off. And I'll just let's get this. Oh, sizzle, sizzle. Get these bad boys going. In the oil. Mr. Steaky. Let's add it. A little bit of bacon. Bacon in it. Oh. Steak. Steak there for a little bit longer. Oh, look at that. Oh. Alright, so it's definitely night time now. It's pushing 9 o'clock, so I'll be heading off to me swag for a good night kip. Alright, so good morning. It's about 7:30 now. Sun's been up for about an hour and a bit. You can hear all the birds and animals and whatnot all coming to life, which is quite nice to wake up to. So it was a good night's sleep. I got interrupted a couple of times by a couple of our marsupial friends scurrying around the campsite a few times, which was interesting. So that's to be expected out here though. So you can hear them thumping along as the kangaroos bounce around the joint. So it kind of wakes you up and think, initially you think, oh shit, is someone else out here with me? But yeah, no, so it's pretty good. Nice, it's a nice morning. It's not too cold, and it's actually nice and fresh. So I'm going to go ahead and cook myself up some breakfast. I'm just going to make a bacon egg roll and see how we go. Bit of bacon. So yeah, got my bacon egg roll. See, the Jimny's all packed up and ready to hit that trail back home. Thank you very much for watching, and once again, my name's Tony, and this has been the Mighty Jimny. Please like and subscribe, and there'll be more content coming soon. Cheers.